This is Kimberly Reuter, business advisor and supply chain expert, and welcome to my podcast, The Morning Mood. We have a super treat for you today. Of course, you have Tiana back with us, who was with us in a previous episode where we introduced her and her greatest lesson. But as part of that sort of recording process, I think we mentioned it took us 3 hours to get that on tape because we just couldn't shut the hell up about everything else. As part of that conversation, there was a word that Tiana and I kept saying over and over and over again, which was freedom. And it kept coming up in different contexts. I'm free from that. I don't care about that anymore. I don't have a mortgage. I'm free from that. And so the word just kept coming up in this 2.5 hours. And so we were like, you know what? Maybe there's something here. Maybe there is a podcast mini-series about freedom. And when we kind of started thinking about that, and Tiana and I, the magic started to happen. And Tiana and I, worked together years ago. We have a lot going on. And so we were super excited to do it. So we decided to start a mini series about freedom. And the topics are going to be the freedom of I don't know, financial freedom, freedom of forgiveness, for freedom from self, freedom from fear, freedom of authenticity, freedom of perfectionism, freedom of connection, I know, and freedom through boundaries.
Oh, my word.
Now, I'm going to tell you personally, Tiana, I want to hear what you have to say, but for me personally, the biggest challenge is going to be forgiveness. I struggle with that one. Which one of your 10 is going to be?
I overcame that one. I think it's
no, you're going to have to help us.
I think for me, it's going to be freedom of boundaries and more in the essence of I'm a giver. And sometimes I've got to cut the giving tree sooner than I have historically. That's going to be a big one. Yeah.
We both have that one. Now, I've overcome that one. I think I'm a little bit ahead of you on that one. I've become a very hard pruner. We will cut that shit back.
So then that means
problem.
we got each other to support. I got you on.
We got this on this one. We got each other.
Yeah.
All right, so we want to recap. We wanted to kind of reintroduce how Tiana and I kind of got to know each other because we live in totally different parts of the country. We have totally different backgrounds, but we met at Amazon, and we were in worldwide ops together, and we both built some amazingly cool stuff. But kind of the thing that sort of bonded us is, one, we were both from the East Coast, which made us kind of oddballs. First of all, because we just spoke a different language, right, Tiana?
Yeah.
We did not speak West Coast.
Not at all. Still don't.
There was this nice thing that people wanted. They're like, what?
Yes. They need to be coddled. It's this extra love fest.
It was weird.
Very.
Yeah. There was all this snowy stuff we had to do. And we're like, look, man, I'm just here to build shit, get out of the way. And so it's kind of what bonded us together is because we actually became somewhat famous for that attitude. I wouldn't even call it an attitude.
No,
what would you call it?
It's a way of
an
life.
attribute.
It's just a way of life. It's being able to approach things as we know it with no apology for who we are, what we bring to the
no reservations, no apologies.
No.
Yep.
No. And I think it was even more so when we almost got the permission to just be us. There was that.
We did for 6 hours.
Until they figured out what they asked for.
And they're like, oh, no, dial back. We're like, what? You said more.
But we brought it. And
we did.
That was the only way we were able to deliver what we delivered. By being able to be ourselves, we did things that the world was never expecting. So I'm grateful for it.
So let's dig in on that just a minute. Because this actually came up recently in conversation where somebody was saying, about back then, Amazon kind of has a bit of a reputation being kind of a harsh culture, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I've said this before, I'm going to say it again. I don't bash Amazon.
No.
I will never bash Amazon. I'm not here to bash Amazon. And Amazon, if you're listening, I am your ally.
Big.
But that's it was very intense. And somebody said something like, well, didn't people get their feelings hurt or, I'm like, we didn't have time to get your feelings hurt. If you had time to sit around and ponder the tone of an email,
what were you doing? What
Did
were
the work.
you doing?
how did you find time? Right. So it didn't happen there. Like, so there it wasn't there. And of course, what laughing because we went to go work other places and people were like, wait a minute, you can't say this. And I'm like, why not? I've been saying it for 8 years. Like,
Why not?
why? Yeah.
But
What's wrong?
But I also think
Yeah,
it was
why not?
or I think it was also the department we were in. Because people had different
This
experiences.
is true. That was very special work.
It was a very special org, and we had a very
Yes.
special leader who I love dearly. But that was just the
Yeah.
environment we were in. Others had different experiences. I literally spoke with another former colleague
It's true.
2 weeks ago, and what he remembered from back then is the same as us. And the things he experienced today is very different than what he experienced back then. So I think that played
Right.
very allowed for us to have the unique experience.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. Frida.
Well,
It did. I mean, and I will say this. So Big G, as I call him, Garish.
yes.
And I could drag his ass back on here for a podcast. But Big G, he did. He said, I mean, I'm not gonna say he even gave us guardrails. He just kind of put us all in a padded room and we're like, go nuts. Just don't physically hurt each other. Other than that, make shit happen. Like, that was it. Like, we tried to keep sharp objects out of conference rooms in case there was any temper tantrums. But other than that,
But it wasn't just G. Like, if you look at Amazon's values, the reality is
yeah.
we are told to disagree and commit.
Yes.
Be very clear. And we're also told the customer first. So when it comes down to it, that disagree and commit, that allow for the lively conversations, I'm going to say conversations, that we all had. But it also, at the end of that first of all, it gave everybody the opportunity to have a voice.
Yes.
Everyone was given to share, to highlight, to lift.
Disagree.
But then at the end of the day, what's best for the customer? And everyone will walk out the room. That's our commitment on what we're going to do. And it's done. That way, it allowed for change to happen without the noise.
At speed, right? And without redoing it. We were able to move very quickly because everyone was given a voice. It was decided in one meeting. One. And that was it. Everybody walked out and we moved on. Like, that was the end of the story. So it was a really interesting environment from that perspective. And yeah, I would say everywhere we had pretty broad guidelines of what you could and couldn't do. And then the lively conversations. And, the other thing that people have asked me too is that, we had a lot of big debates. I'm going to just say it. There were some knockdown, drag out fights. But it was always about what was right for the company or customer. The disagreement was about what we thought was right. Or we thought was the correct solution, not because we thought we were right or we wanted it. It was always about like, no, I disagree with your approach.
And that's the beauty of it, which allowed for the disagreements to be lively. It was nothing personal.
Conversation. Yes. Even if sometimes they get a little personal. There were moments that were personal, but it allows a safe environment for us to have that conversation without everybody getting their nose bent out of joint or like, now we got an HR issue because so-and-so got upset. I think the only time that I ever lost it was when someone called me stupid.
Oh, that's
And
unacceptable.
that's the only time that I almost went over a table.
Yeah, that's unacceptable.
Well, that was unacceptable. I'm like, you can say anything you want about me because I was disagreeing with them. And they're like, no, you don't understand the concept. I'm like, no, you don't understand what I'm trying to explain to you. I understand your concept. I'm trying to tell you that I think you missed something. And what they said back to me was like, I don't have time to explain this to stupid.
Nah, that don't work.
No, I came out of the chair. I ain't gonna lie about it. I came out of the chair.
As Philly does. Like, what? No,
You what? Yeah, I've been called a lot of things, but stupid isn't one of them.
Yeah. I mean,
But that was in all of those years. That's the only experience I had, and that was in a moment of frustration. He apologized later for it, like yada yada yada. But all those years, that was the only time I had a personal attack.
well, mine was when I was solving a problem for the entire organization. Apparently, I hurt the feeling of sellers who were on our platform. And the head of the selling program at the time took it very personally and had a lot to say.
Wow.
Until I kindly invited them down to Starbucks for a drink.
Oh, yeah.
And was like, we're going to talk now because I'm not doing this over email. And that was the other thing. Yeah, it was over email. I had the conversation and it's sitting there. He's like, wait a second. You from New York? And I'm like, yes, so are you. So how are we starting this over? And from there, like, I'm like, let's start over because the emails weren't working. So we're going to do this person. All right.
Yeah.
And we did.
We're going to get to know each other.
And we did. Like, I absolutely enjoyed him. Actually, absolutely enjoyed his passion for being upset on behalf of the sellers. I'm like, I am not mad at you. The thing is, get mad at you, but your approach towards me as if I did something wrong is unacceptable.
Yeah. Right.
The reality is, this was when, I don't know if you remember, when the snow, there was a major winter storm on the East Coast, and the snow, the weight of the snow, caused the roof to collapse in one of our warehouses.
Yes. Yep.
We had to make some immediate decisions to improve customer experience.
Yeah.
I forgot to message the seller community. All right.
Yeah.
You're right. I did. But we can approach it a different way. We can learn from it. And guess what? We will add that now to our next steps for the next time a roof collapse. We're crushing
just from snow weight on the snow. But it is true. Like, I mean, and your intent was good. You were trying to do the right thing. Right. It was, yeah. Okay. So as I think we've established, Tiana and I have a lot to say. And so Tiana, so this is how Tiana and I came together, was working together at Amazon and worldwide operations, driving forward a lot of initiatives and a lot of stuff. Tiana also built part of the cornerstones of Amazon today. She introduced the code and the process for doing refunds at Carrier Scan.
Yes. As well as the web. So, by the way, the fact that you get that message that the package is delayed because of weather. Yeah, that was my white paper.
That's her right there. That's who did it. Very cool. Very cool. All right. So back to our Freedom Podcast. We have talked about what we're going to discuss. Obviously, there's going to be times when Tiana's going to have to lead us through this, especially on things like forgiveness, because these are things that I have not mastered myself. But the intent, I'm going to tell you my intent, and then we'll have Tiana kind of tell you her intent. But the intent of this podcast, Tiana and I have come from drastically different backgrounds, but also very similar in weird ways.
Yeah.
Yep. And yeah. And we worked together at Amazon, which is a high pressure environment, and then left Amazon to have respective careers that diverged away from that e-commerce industry, though mine always kind of circled around it. And, we reconnected through this podcast and discovered that we have a lot to share. And we think that our hope is that what we share with you helps, maybe motivates you or inspires you. Mm-hmm. Or it just makes you feel better about what you're going through. And where you're headed and why you have questions.
Exactly. Ultimately, you're not alone.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
Yep. Ultimately, you're not alone. As I have shared with you guys in my why, I didn't have a lot of mentors available to me when I was younger, trying to come up in the business world, especially business mentors. And so I know what it feels like not to have somebody to give you some advice. So, Tiana, what's your why for this?
My why is very similar. Like, we don't know what we don't know, right? And we can only move forward with information that people are willing to share with us. And when it comes to freedom for me, like, my journey and the things that I had to learn and remove the weight, like, I just love how much lower my shoulders are. It's just now full to many of the freedoms that we plan to talk about. And that freedom of forgiveness is a huge one that's lowered those shoulders and it has allowed me to breathe in a way I haven't before. But what really, I think, dawned on us during us trying those 3 hours of trying to record that first call was we've gone through a journey, right? We're now at the freedom from the W-2, freedom from freedom to rest as we need to, because we're now in this new stage. For me, I didn't know how much rest I needed till I was no longer working full time. Freedom to focus on my health.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother conversation, a whole nother journey. And what I have found in this season is now the freedom to help others in a way that allows me to give wholly versus, I got 5 minutes for you.
Oh my God. Oh, geez, you hit on something right there. You're right. It used to be like, let's chit-chat in the hallway or by the water fountain real quick.
Yes.
Now we have time to have a 2-hour conversation.
To just sit
and be present.
That part.
And not checking our phone or what's going on, or let me just make sure everything's okay. Sanity check. Just to be like, let's just talk for a couple hours and see what happens.
Correct. But the reality in all of that is we could have done it before. But our priorities were different. And
it's a journey.
All a journey. But the freedom, that's the term that just keeps. It just keeps.
It is.
Like,
it is indeed. And it's the freedom, and it's the and the other thing I want to highlight here is that none of this came easily. Tiana and I did not win the lottery and decide to run a charitable organization from our McMansions. We worked our asses off for this. We made personal sacrifices for this.
Yep.
A lot of personal sacrifices for this.
Yes.
And we hustled. We hustled our asses off.
And there was no one like,
this is a hustle.
And I am right in the coattail, like, yes, let's do this. I'm here. We're doing a series.
I mean, my point is that we never stopped learning. We never stopped being curious. We never stopped being creative. Like, I think for both of us, that's a big part is being creative. And our creativity was problem solutioning. That I love to solve a problem. But it was hard earned. Yeah.
That's a puzzle.
Yep.
Like, literally, figuratively, I'm all about solving a problem. all day.
Yeah.
All day.
I love them. I do. It's a creativity thing for me. It's part of why I went into consulting, because I could solve lots of problems until I discovered I was just solving the same problem over and over again. Because most supply chains make the same mistakes.
Yes.
But that's okay. I'm really good at fixing them out.
It's keeping it simple.
But yeah, so sure. It's so simple. It is so simple. But you know, people just love that 42-page Excel spreadsheet.
I'm guilty of the
end of my existence.
Anyone who knows me listening knows I love my spreadsheets. But this time,
You cannot run a
system. Wait a second. I love my
yes. That's what I'm saying. Like,
well,
it's fine for the first 20. Yes.
that
Gotta
is
move on.
system optimization.
When you get to the point where yes, when you get to the point where it's someone's full-time job to run the Excel spreadsheet, it's time to buy software. Unacceptable, but completely unacceptable. So you've heard our why. You've heard what this is going to be about. You've got 9 more episodes coming up. These are going to be dropping on Fridays as part of Freedom Friday. And we'll be on Spotify, YouTube. Tune in, leave some comments. If you have a freedom you think Tiana and I should talk about, let us know.
Yes.
Because there may be freedoms we haven't thought about yet.
Please.
No, we're not going to get, freaky weird or anything, so keep that to yourself. But, we're open.
That's right. That's right. Happy to have the conversation. It's a conversation. Let's do it.
Exactly. All right. So that is that is it for us for the introductory episode of the Freedom Series. Come back next week and we will see you again.
Bye-bye.